Right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to what's probably going to be the craziest adventure we've ever been on. Seriously, you guys know I love a good surprise, a good prank, maybe even setting something on fire with a flamethrower, but this is a whole new level of insane, and honestly, I'm kind of freaking out already, but in a good way, you know? We are literally diving headfirst into a journey through time, and not just any time, but like super old, creepy, mysterious time. Think ancient castles, echoing hallways, and stories that will legit make your skin crawl. I'm talking about a trip that's going to take us deep into the heart of history, but also like right into the middle of some serious mystery. So buckle up, because this is Garabus, and we're about to get seriously spooky, and I am so ready for it. Let's go. Alright guys, so first up on our spooky castle tour, we're diving headfirst, no looking back, into this absolute monstrosity of a castle, Spis Castle. And when I say monstrosity, I mean it in the most awe-inspiring, jaw-dropping way possible. You genuinely won't believe the sheer scale of this thing until you see it. It's like something straight out of Game of Thrones, but like if it was directed by a ghost who really likes old rocks. It's perched up on this massive hill, just looming over the entire landscape like it's the king of the world, which I guess it kind of was for a super long time. We're talking serious history here, like way before your great grandparents were even a twinkle in anyone's eye. This isn't just some tourist trap with a gift shop. This is the real rugged deal, a place where actual kings and queens walked, and probably a few dozen ghosts too, if the local legends are anything to go by. I'm already getting those weird tingles on my neck just thinking about it, and we haven't even gotten to the properly spooky parts yet. Get ready, because this is going to be insane, an absolute unit of a castle. So let's get into the nitty-gritty, the historical lowdown, because this place isn't just big, it's old. Picture this, it's like the 12th century, way back in the day. No iPhones, no Teslas, probably terrible Wi-Fi, and they start building this fortress. Not with like power tools and fancy cranes, guys, but with their bare hands, sweat, and probably a lot of medieval complaining about the working conditions. This place has seen empires rise and fall like dominoes, epic battles rage with swords and arrows, and countless generations pass through its formidable stone walls. It was a massive deal back then, a super important administrative, cultural and military centre for the Kingdom of Hungary. Think of it as the Pentagon and the White House of its time, but way bigger, definitely more drafty, and with a much better, more intimidating view. The sheer amount of history soaked into these stones is just mind-blowing. It's like every rock has a story to tell, probably a pretty dramatic one too. But it's not just the history that gets you, man. There's this vibe. You walk around these ancient, sprawling ruins, and it's like the air itself is thick with untold stories, with secrets that have been kept for centuries. The wind whistles through the broken ramparts and empty window sockets, and it doesn't just sound like wind, it sounds like ghostly sighs, or maybe someone whispering your name when no one's there. Super creepy. Believe me, I'm not usually one to get easily spooked. I've faced down some pretty crazy situations, but this place has something that makes the hairs on your arms stand up. Maybe it's the sheer age, the incredible vastness of it all, or just the knowledge of all the intense human drama that went down here, but it definitely has a profoundly mysterious and slightly unsettling aura. It's the kind of place where your imagination just runs wild, picturing knights and ladies, grand feasts, but also like shadowy figures lurking in the dungeons below. And that's exactly what we're here to explore, right? Not just the undeniably cool, crumbling architecture, which, don't get me wrong, is absolutely epic and totally Instagrammable, but the stories that make your hair stand on end, the legends that give you goosebumps. We're talking about a place that's been around for nearly 1,000 years. You just know it's collected some seriously spooky baggage along the way, like an old attic nobody dares to clean out. People have lived their entire lives here. They've loved, they've lost, they've celebrated, and they've probably been betrayed or met untimely ends within these very walls. So as we delve deeper into the heart of Spis Castle, keep your eyes peeled and your ears open, because I have a strong feeling this ancient giant has more than a few ghostly tales to share with us. This is just the beginning of our exploration here, and I'm already completely hooked. Let's see what kind of mysteries we can uncover in this ancient, sprawling giant of a castle. Okay, next up on our haunted hit list, guys, we're heading to another absolutely mind-blowing spot, Arava Castle. And let me tell you, if Spis was about sheer sprawling size, Orava is all about dramatic, almost terrifying beauty. This place looks like it was literally carved out of a nightmare, but like the coolest, most epic nightmare you could possibly imagine, the kind you secretly want to have again. It's perched precariously on this super high, ridiculously steep rocky cliff like an eagle's nest or maybe a vampire's weekend retreat overlooking the Arava River. The way it just juts out into the sky, defying gravity, is completely insane. It's so incredibly dramatic you half expect Count Dracula himself to pop out from a turret and offer you a very old and possibly suspicious glass of wine. Seriously, the first time you lay eyes on it, it just takes your breath away. It's not just a castle, it's a statement. A big, stony, slightly terrifying statement that screams, "Don't even think about messing with me. I've been here for centuries and I've definitely seen some stuff." And you just know, looking at a place as imposing and theatrical as Arava, that it's absolutely packed to the rafters with stories. Probably some really dark ones. It's not the kind of castle that had a quiet, boring history. No way. Not a chance. Its very architecture, with its different levels built one on top of the other, almost organically climbing up the sheer rock face, suggests a long, complex, and probably very eventful past. You can almost feel the weight of centuries pressing down on you as you approach its gates, a sense of foreboding mixed with intense curiosity. It's the perfect, almost purpose-built backdrop for some seriously spooky tales, and trust me when I say Arava Castle does not disappoint in the haunting department. We're talking about a place that's practically begging to be haunted, with all its dark, narrow corridors, winding stone staircases, and ancient shadowy chambers. I'm already getting major goosebumps just thinking about the legends we're about to dive into here. Now, before we get to the ghosts, and oh boy, are there reportedly ghosts here, like A-list celebrity ghosts of the paranormal world, it's worth mentioning that Arava, much like Spis, was a big deal historically. It wasn't just built to look cool and scare off pigeons. It was a crucial strategic fortress, guarding important trade routes that ran along the Arava River and serving as an administrative hub for the surrounding region for centuries. It's seen its fair share of battles, sieges, and powerful, influential families calling it home and leaving their indelible mark. The Thurzo family, for example, were major players here. They really shaped the castle during the Renaissance, expanding it and turning it into the imposing, multi-level structure we see today. But even with all that rich, fascinating history, it's the legends, the whispers of the supernatural, the spine-chilling tales of spectral residents that really make Arava Castle stand out from the crowd. It's like the history provides the incredible stage and the ghosts are the unforgettable star performers. So, buckle up your seatbelts, ghost enthusiasts, because Arava Castle is where things get really interesting in the haunting department. If Spis Castle was about the sheer scale and the ancient, almost palpable aura of history, Orava is all about the chilling narratives, the specific named entities, and the terrifying encounters that have been passed down through generations of terrified locals and wide-eyed visitors. We're going to explore the stories that have made this castle a legend in its own right, a place where the veil between our world and the next feels incredibly uncomfortably thin. Get ready to hear about spectral figures gliding through darkened halls, tragic events that echo through time, and the kind of unexplained phenomena that will make you question everything you thought you knew. This is where the real ghost hunting adventure kicks into high gear, guys, and I'm so incredibly here for it. Let's uncover the deepest, darkest secrets of Arava's most famous and feared phantoms. Alright guys, so picture this, Bohemia Castle. Dude, this place isn't just some old pile of rocks, it's like legit steeped in history. We're talking way back 12th century. Can you even imagine? It apparently started as a wooden fort, which is crazy to think about now when you see how massive and like fairy tale-like it is. I bet back then they had no idea it would become this iconic landmark that people like us, centuries later, would be totally geeking out over. All right, next up, we're heading to the Czech Republic, to Pernstein Castle, built by Charles IV. This fortress was a vault for the Holy Roman Empire's crown jewels and relics. Perched on a rocky hill, it was nearly impregnable. A masterclass in medieval defensive architecture. Charles IV wasn't messing around, man. Okay guys, now we're off to Luboka Castle, and whoa, this place is stunning. Like, if you thought Bodnice was fairy tale, Luboka is like its super fancy, slightly more intense cousin from England. It was remodeled in the 19th century by the Schwarzenberg family, and they were totally obsessed with Windsor Castle in England. So Luboka has this incredible Tudor Gothic romantic style. Think turrets, battlements, intricate details everywhere. It's ridiculously picturesque. But here's the thing, sometimes the prettiest places have the spookiest vibes. Is it just me, or does all that neo-Gothic grandeur also feel a little haunted? Lots of visitors who walk through Luboka's opulent rooms and winding corridors report feeling something. It's not always specific, just this general sense of unease or the classic feeling of being watched. You know, when the hairs on the back of your neck stand up for no reason. People mention certain rooms feeling colder than others, even on a hot summer day. And these aren't just like drafty old castle chills. These are localized cold spots that appear and disappear. It's creepy. You're surrounded by all this beauty and wealth, but there's this undercurrent of something else, something unseen. And it's not just the tourists. Some of the staff who work at Luboka, day in and day out, have their own little stories. Nothing too crazy usually, but enough to make you go, Things like doors that were definitely closed being found slightly ajar, or objects in a room being moved just a tiny bit overnight when no one was supposed to be there. Or faint sounds like rustling fabric or soft footsteps in an empty wing of the castle. It's the kind of subtle stuff that could be easily dismissed, but when it happens repeatedly, you start to wonder if the castle has some permanent unseen residence. Plus, Luboka is massive. It has something like 140 rooms, plus towers and cellars and who knows what else. It's so easy to imagine spirits getting lost in a place that big or finding a quiet corner to inhabit. With so much history packed into those walls, so many generations of the Schwarzenberg family living and dying there, it wouldn't be surprising if some of them decided to stick around. The sheer opulence and scale of the place could almost be a character in itself, amplifying any strange feelings or unexplained occurrences. It's beautiful for sure, but maybe a little too quiet in some spots. The Schwarzenbergs, who owned Luboka for centuries, were one of the most powerful and wealthy noble families in Bohemia. They poured a fortune into making it the romantic masterpiece it is today. But with great families come great histories and sometimes great tragedies. Think of all the births, deaths, marriages, dramas, secrets that unfolded within those walls. Each event, each strong emotion could have left an imprint, an energetic residue that sensitive people pick up on. It's like the castle absorbed all those human experiences, and now, sometimes it replays them in subtle ways. The architectural style itself, that romantic Tudor Gothic, almost lends itself to ghost stories. All those towers, turrets and ornate details create so many shadows, so many nooks and crannies where your imagination can run wild. It's the perfect setting for a Gothic romance or a spooky tale. When you're walking through a dimly lit corridor past suits of armor and ancient portraits, it's easy to let your mind wander and start seeing things that aren't there. Or maybe they are. The atmosphere is just ripe for it, especially as evening starts to fall. Some people say the sheer amount of antique furniture, portraits and personal belongings of the Schwarzenberg family displayed in the castle contributes to the eerie feeling. It's like stepping into someone's home, but they've been gone for a long, long time. The portraits especially, with their eyes that seem to follow you around the room, that's classic creepy castle stuff right there. It's one thing to see artifacts in a museum case, it's another to see them arranged as if the owners just stepped out for a moment. It makes their presence feel much more immediate. And it's not just a modern phenomenon, this feeling that Luboka might be haunted. Whispers and legends about strange occurrences have probably clung to the castle for generations, evolving with each new owner and each new architectural style. The current romantic version is just the latest stage for these potential hauntings. So when visitors today report feeling something odd, they're tapping into a long tradition of the castle being seen as a place of beauty, history, and perhaps a touch of the supernatural. It's all part of Luboka's charm. if you're into that kind of thing. Alright guys, so next up is Krumlov Castle, and let me tell you, this place is absolutely bonkers, in the best way possible, of course. First off, the fact that this thing is still standing is like a miracle of engineering, or maybe just sheer stubbornness from the castle itself. We're talking centuries, dudes, centuries of history packed into these walls, and it doesn't look a day over. Well, okay, it looks old, but like majestically old, you know? It's not crumbling into a pile of sad rocks. It's standing proud, looking down on the town like it owns the place, which I guess it kind of did and still does. It's just massive, sprawling all over this hill, and you just look at it and go, how did they even build this without like cranes and power tools? Seriously blows my mind, man. And think about what it takes to keep a place like this from just like giving up and going back to nature. It's not like patching a hole in your drywall, bro. This is ancient stone, massive timber beams, roofs that are probably bigger than a football field. Imagine the upkeep. A leaky faucet in my apartment is a crisis, but imagine a leaky roof on a medieval castle. You'd need a whole army of dudes, probably with like specialized medieval construction skills, just to keep the rain out, and the wind and the snow, and probably like rogue pigeons trying to nest in historic crevices. It's a constant battle against time and the elements, and somehow Krumlov is still winning. That's pretty epic if you ask me. It's not just a single building either. This place is a legit complex. We're talking courtyards, palaces, gardens, even a freaking Baroque theatre that's still intact. How insane is that? It's like a whole self-contained city from another era. You could probably get lost in there for days, which, knowing my sense of direction, I totally would. Imagine trying to give directions. Yeah, just go past the third Gothic archway, make a left at the bear moat. Yes, there's a bear moat, don't ask, and if you hit the torture chamber, you've gone too far. It's just layer upon layer of history, and every corner you turn there's something else that makes you go, whoa, no way. The dedication to keeping this historical monster alive is just incredible. Generations of people have poured their blood, sweat, and probably a lot of tears into making sure this castle doesn't just become a footnote in a history book. They're not just preserving stones, they're preserving stories, artistry, and a massive piece of human ingenuity. It's like a living museum, but way cooler because it's an actual castle. You can almost hear the echoes of knights, nobles, and maybe a few jesters if you listen closely, or maybe that's just Heath, haha. But seriously, the commitment is unreal, and it shows in every perfectly maintained tower and courtyard. Yo, check this out, guys. So, Pernstein Castle, right? This place isn't just some dusty old pile of rocks in the Czech Republic. Nah, this castle is a legit celebrity. I'm talking A-list, red carpet, seen on the silver screen, kind of famous. Seriously, this fortress has probably had more screen time than some actors I know, and it definitely has more character, haha. It's wild to think that a building from the 13th century is still getting callbacks from Hollywood. It's like the Meryl Streep of castles, timeless, versatile, and always delivers a killer performance. I wonder if it has an agent or like demands a really big trailer on set. Imagine you're a movie director, okay? You're trying to make the next epic fantasy or a super intense historical drama, and you need a castle that just screams authenticity. You don't want something that looks like it was built last week for a theme park. You need real stone, real history, real imposing vibes. And then your location scout, who's probably a total legend, shows you pictures of Pernstein Castle. Boom! Mind blown! It's exactly what you need. It's got the towers, the ramparts, the slightly spooky but incredibly majestic aura. It's basically a ready-made movie set. No CGI required for that ancient, weathered look. Think about it, all the big movie productions rolling up to this ancient site. Trucks full of cameras, lights, costumes, and probably a craft services table with, like, surprisingly good snacks. Famous actors walking the same courtyards where actual knights and nobles walked centuries ago. It's such a crazy juxtaposition, right? Modern filmmaking technology capturing the essence of a medieval stronghold. I bet the local villagers get a kick out of seeing like Tom Cruise or someone battling imaginary dragons in their backyard castle. It's got to be surreal, but also super cool for the local economy, I guess. And it's not just any random castle they pick. Directors are super specific, dude. They need a certain look, a certain feel, and Pernstein just has. It's got this raw, unconquered energy because it was famously never conquered. How sick is that? So, when a script calls for an impenetrable fortress or a mysterious ancient lair, Pernstein is probably at the top of the call sheet. It's got that built-in drama, that sense of history that you just can't fake. This castle isn't just a background, it's a character in its own right. What a legend. Alright dudes, hold on to your hats, because Lech Castle is not what you typically picture when you think old spooky castle. This place is like the definition of extra. It's less creepy dungeon and more Gilded Age millionaire's summer palace that happens to look like a fairy tale. Seriously, if castles had an Instagram, Lech would be that influencer with millions of followers, perfectly curated photos, and probably a sponsorship deal with a champagne company. It's just stunningly beautiful, almost ridiculously so. It's like someone took a regular castle and then bedazzled the heck out of it. One of the wildest things about Lech is its style. It's this over-the-top English neo-Gothic design, but here's the kicker. A lot of what you see was actually built in the 19th century. So it's not ancient like some of the other fortresses we've seen. The Liechtenstein family, who owned this place for like forever, basically decided to give their summer home a massive, super fashionable makeover. They were like, let's make it look like something out of a romantic English novel, but bigger and better. And boy, did they deliver. It's a total architectural flex, and I'm here for it. And get this, Lech Castle isn't just a standalone pretty building, it's the heart of the Lech Valtis cultural landscape, which is so epic it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. We're talking a massive area, like 200 square kilometers of landscape parks, gardens, ponds, and other cool buildings. It's not just a castle, it's an entire aristocratic playground. Imagine having all that as your backyard. My backyard has like a slightly sad patch of grass and Jason's discarded scooter. The Liechtensteins were definitely living large, no doubt about it. So while many castles give off that dark, brooding, beware of the dragon vibe, Lech is surprisingly bright, elegant, and almost cheerful. It's like the Disney princess of Czech castles. It's grand and imposing, for sure, but in a very polished, sophisticated way. It makes you want to, like, put on a top hat and stroll through the gardens with a parasol. Still, don't let the pretty face fool you. It's still an old, massive castle, so you know there have to be some good ghost stories lurking in those fancy hallways. Pretty places can be haunted too, right? Alright guys, so next up we're hitting Krumlov Castle, and let me tell you, this place is straight out of a movie. Like a legit fairy tale kingdom brought to life. It's not just some random pile of old rocks. This castle is a massive deal in the Czech Republic, a true icon, you know. When you see it with its towers and drawbridges, you just get this vibe, this feeling that you've stepped into another time. It's seriously imposing, but in the coolest way possible, making you wonder about all the crazy history that went down within its walls. It's one of those spots that instantly makes you go, whoa, okay, this is epic, and it's not just me hyping it up, okay? Krumlov Castle is officially recognized as a national cultural monument over there. That's like the ultimate stamp of approval, meaning it's incredibly important to Czech heritage and their whole cultural identity. Think about it, a building so significant that the entire nation basically says, yep, this right here, this is us, this tells our story. It's a huge responsibility for a castle, but Krumlov totally owns it. It's a testament to centuries of history, art, and the enduring spirit of the region. Pretty insane. When you stop and think about it, this castle, man, it's like a time capsule representing a super romantic ideal of the medieval era, even though it was heavily reconstructed in the late 19th and early 20th centuries to look that way. But that's part of its charm, you know, it's what a fairy tale castle to be. It embodies this knightly, chivalrous vibe, a sort of idealized past that people totally connect with. It's become this symbol of Czech romanticism, a place where imagination can just run wild. You half expect a knight in shining armor to come clanking around the corner, or maybe even a dragon, who knows? Plus, it's super popular, not just for history buffs, but for everyone. Families go there, tourists flock to it, and it's easy to see why. It's accessible, it's stunning, and it offers this incredible glimpse into a different world. This popularity isn't just about pretty pictures for Instagram, though. It's about people actively engaging with their culture, learning about their past, and keeping these stories alive. Krumlov serves as this amazing, tangible link to history, making it more than just a monument. It's a living piece of the Czech national story, and that's pretty awesome.
Perfect, perfect, perfect.
All right, hold on to your hats, people, because we're heading to Trenčín Castle, and this place is an absolute beast. It's dramatically perched on top of this super steep rock overlooking the whole town and the Var River. Like, how did they even build this thing up there? It's insane. From the moment you see it, Trenčín just screams mystery and ancient power. It's not just a castle, it's a fortress that has defied time, standing guard for centuries. Its silhouette against the sky is just iconic, making you feel small and totally in awe of its sheer presence. One of the craziest things about Trenčín, and a huge part of its enigma, is this ancient Roman inscription carved right into the castle rock. We're talking about something from the 2nd century AD, guys. It mentions the victory of Roman legions and the name Laugaritio, which was what Trenčín was called back then. This is like solid proof that Romans were way up here, further north than people thought. It's a direct, tangible link to a super distant, almost mythical past. And it just deepens the mystery of who else might have called this strategic rock home before the castle we see today. And then there are the legends about its foundation, particularly surrounding Mátyskák, also known as the Lord of the Var and the Tatras. This dude was a seriously powerful Hungarian nobleman in the 13th and 14th centuries who controlled a huge chunk of what is now Slovakia from this very castle. He was so influential, so dominant, that he became this larger-than-life, almost mythical figure. The stories about his reign, his power, and his defiance against kings add another thick layer to Trenčín's mysterious aura. He basically turned this castle into his own impenetrable kingdom. So you've got these layers upon layers of history, ancient Roman presence, powerful medieval lords, sieges, battles. It's all baked into the stone of Trenčín Castle. Each era left its mark, its secrets and its ghosts, contributing to the castle's complex and endlessly fascinating character. It's not just one story here, it's 1,000 stories, all whispering from the walls, from the deepest dungeons to the highest towers. You can't help but feel the weight of all that history, and it's that very weight that makes it so incredibly compelling and mysterious. Yo, what is up? And just like that, our insane tour of Slovakia and the Czech Republic's most haunted and mysterious castles is coming to an end. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this spine-chilling journey. It's been absolutely wild, right? Like, we've seen so much crazy history, heard some seriously spooky stories, and honestly, I'm probably going to need a nightlight tonight. No joke, I really hope you guys felt that same thrill ride from your screens, because experiencing all this, even just talking about it, is super intense, and I love that we can share it. We've delved into ancient legends that sound crazier than fiction, walked, in our minds at least, through corridors that definitely echo with phantom footsteps, and maybe, just maybe, we all felt a collective shiver down our spines. These castles, man, they're so much more than just stone and mortar. They're like living, breathing storybooks filled with insane drama, epic tragedies, and a whole lot of unanswered questions that keep you guessing. It's pretty wild to think about all the people who lived, loved, fought, and, well, exactly leave these castles. You guys are seriously the best for coming along with us on this adventure. And hey, if you had a good time, or if you're now slightly terrified of old European castles, which is also cool, don't forget to subscribe, and definitely smash that bell icon for more mysterious adventures, because, trust me, we're just getting started with this stuff. We've got so many more insane places to explore around the world, more unbelievable stories to uncover, and probably a lot more jump scares to try and give you guys. Your support means everything. It's literally what lets us go out and film all this crazy content for you. So yeah, hit those buttons. It takes like half a second and you won't miss out on the next wild ride. Until next time, my dudes, stay curious and keep exploring the unknown. There's a whole world out there that's just packed with mysteries, ancient secrets, and probably a few ghosts waiting to say hi, and who knows what we'll find next. Maybe we'll even get one of you guys to come with us on an actual ghost hunt someday. How sick would that be? For real though, keep that adventurous spirit alive, always ask questions, and never stop wondering what's hidden just out of sight waiting to be discovered. Peace out, Mystery Squad, later!
If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you don't miss out on future ideas that challenge us to think outside the box. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, and don't forget to always maintain that curiosity that drives progress. Also, explore even more fascinating content on our channel. From life-changing tips and cutting-edge technology, to the mysteries of spirituality, travel to various countries, delicious recipes, health hacks, and language learning, there's something here to spark your curiosity and elevate your life. Dive in and discover a world of knowledge awaits us.